Hey, it's Clay Trader, and this will be a video chart on ticker symbol APVO. We will take a look at the 30-minute time frame. Real quick, what do I mean by 30-minute in case maybe you're new to charts? Instead of each one of these candlesticks here representing 1 day's worth of price action, which is what you would normally see, each one represents 30 minutes. So while this here may look like several days worth of time, it's actually just today's price action broken down into 30-minute time slices. I like you this time frame. I think it does a good job of telling the quote-unquote story of the price and then makes mapping out levels of support and resistance a bit easier to see. This chart's somewhat tricky from a presentation standpoint because there's a lot of perspective that goes into it. What do I mean by that? Well, if you are a day trader and you bought right there and you wanted to sell within 2 minutes after buying, then yeah, for you the chart's looking pretty rough. But if you care about the big picture of things, then yeah, I get it, the price pulled back today. But the big picture, the price did make a very significant move, and now the bulls have plenty of opportunity to build a higher base, and higher bases being built over longer stretches of time is how those long-term uptrends are constructed. So I'm going to be talking about things from a big picture perspective. So if I sound crazy calling something bullish, my guess would be you just had a much different perspective and outlook going into the trade. First area of support is what I would call the ideal level. I mean, if you say, hey Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest going forward? And that would be if that 205 mark can continue to hold. I use the word continue very deliberately because you can see several times today the bears did try to press down through that area, but whenever the price got around that range, to give credit where credit's due, the bulls did a good job of holding strong. So 205, definitely that ideal level of support. Taking a step back though and looking at the big picture of things, and maybe you're saying, hey Clay, what's just a very simplistic, a very straightforward way to measure the strength or lack thereof of the move? This right here being defined as the move. Well, to do that in a very efficient way, just use that purple line right there, which is the famous 50-period simple moving average. Keyword there being moving. So as time goes by, that purple line is just going to continue to move higher and higher and higher. So again, going back to that question, how do you gauge the strength of the move or lack thereof? Simply put, as long as the price stays above that purple line as the line itself moves upwards, then the bulls are in full strength, full health, however you can best visualize that. As far as levels of resistance are concerned, two key ones. The first one is what I like to call the fun level of resistance, and that's up there at 247. I'll be the first to admit it is fun to talk about testing previous highs and breaking new highs, and that is what the 247 resistance represents. But in many cases, as is the case here, usually there's an initial bridge that first needs to be crossed, and that bridge on this one is $2.25. So yes, without question, 247 is a level of resistance. But before you start talking about doing battle with that one and breaking new highs, bulls first got to prove themselves and get back up above that 225 mark. So very interesting day, huge volume. We'll see how this one all unfolds next week. One of the biggest questions that I get is, hey Clay, how do you find the stocks that you trade? So what I've done is put together a free resource guide where I talk about the tools that I use to locate stocks that I find interesting and think may have potential. So if that sounds like something that could add value to you as a trader, then click on the image that is up on the screen right now and I will email you the guide. The guide itself is very short and to the point, and best part, it's completely free. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know if you have any questions.